Okay, live and in action coming to you. This Jersey crew is definitely a force to be reckoned with. We are all in Jersey. I'm like 45 minutes away from these guys. I wish we were doing it in person. We have Steve Vetter, who is AnnieMac, one of our top loan officers, thanks to his amazing team. Lucia, hey girl, thanks for tuning in. So Steve has an incredible journey, and this group has been a huge part of his growth and his success, and a rising tide lifts all ships, right? And we don't single-handedly achieve our goals. It truly comes together with a purpose, a passion. And for this particular group, there's a very much a big driving force behind their why, and especially Steve. So joining us, we have Jenni down in also Tom's River, who's a dear friend of mine. Fun fact, my fiance was the best man at her and her husband Jason's wedding. And when Jenni was looking for her next chapter, I couldn't imagine a better fit than this group. And then we have Anthony, who also has been an anchor and right-hand man for Steve, and supporting this group as they grow. And one thing I love is this group is so connected and also just a fun cultural family style group. They see that if one person has massive amounts of success, they all rise. And, really Steve came to me and said, Kels, as they want to share their story and talk a little bit more about his personal story as he's gone through some challenges with his health. One day Steve woke up and he couldn't hear. Can you imagine? Here you are running a very successful business with people that you need to constantly communicate with and have your finger on the pulse. And he's going to get into his story a little bit. But this group went from, see if my memory is right, 42 million in 2019 to 93 million in 2020. Holy moly. I mean, just to be able to do that there's clearly a lot of legwork, a lot of process, a lot of discipline, and we want to hear it all. So Steve, I'd love to start with you. Hopefully you can hear me okay, because I know we're having some audio issues.
Yeah.
Love for you to share a little bit of your story, and for those tuning in, understanding that no matter the size of your challenge that you're going through, the comeback and the story looking backwards, right? Because now you're ahead of it. Now looking back, I mean, I can only imagine what the journey was like. So I'm gonna be quiet and let you jump in.
All right, you guys can hear me all right, right?
Yes.
All right, so I thought it was important to share my story because there's, a lot of people have struggles. We never know what those struggles are, and I definitely had a struggle, and I think it's newsworthy to talk about in the mortgage world. So here we go, right? So I'm 44 years old at this point in my life. I back up to about 20 years old. I started noticing that my hearing was going like south a little bit, like I couldn't hear in certain situations, so on and so forth. I'm going to give you guys a Cliff Notes version of this entire story. So I'm a loan officer since I was 22 years old, actually 21, a little over 21 years old. In the very beginning, it was very easy. I had a double headset. Everything was great, talking to customers all day long, every day. Did amazing at the previous company I was at. Slowly but surely, as I went through life, I got married, I had kids, my hearing kept getting worse and worse and worse. So I'll fast forward all the way up until about 2016, 2017. I was at AnnieMac. AnnieMac afforded me an office that was quiet. I had a double headset with a microphone, and I would do this job differently than what I knew I was supposed to be doing. For example, I was just focusing on leads, because then I didn't have to go out and meet and greet realtors and be in situations where live I may not be able to hear them. In a restaurant setting with a lot of background noise, stuff like that. So I kind of focused my life on what I could control, which was a controlled environment, headset on, everything's good. Well, you fast forward into 2016, 2017, Anthony Bueti was actually my mortgage processor on my sales team. I wasn't a sales team at that point. It was just me. I was doing a lot of business. I was doing a lot of texting with customers. I remember the start of the struggle in the beginning of 2017, I started struggling. And I started thinking to myself, I can't hear this customer's voice because she's female and she's got a high pitched voice. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I would start texting the customers, hey, can you text me what your email address is again? I didn't quite get that. Or can you text me your address? And then Anthony would come into my office, even on sold loans, and be like, Steve, you got like 3 numbers in the social security number wrong. And I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? So slowly but surely, 2016, 2017, I was pivoting. I'm like, oh my God, my hearing's getting really, really terrible. I would go to Anthony. I was like, hey, listen, I can't really hear this customer. Can you talk to them? Can you tell them this, tell them this, tell them this, ask them that question? Because live, I'm good. I could read lips like a champ, right? Well, it was like middle of 2017. I woke up one night, honestly, and I couldn't hear anything, like lights out. All of a sudden, you wake up in a panic as an adult with children, a business, I have another business outside of this business, and I'm looking at myself and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm panicked. I literally could not hear. The next day, my ears popped a little bit. I could hear some stuff, but like every customer conversation, I couldn't have one. I was just texting customers. I was directing to my website to do an online application. And then I was trying to coach Anthony. Like I could hardly hear him. Like, Anthony, I'm like, you got to talk to this person. Going to the hospital, going to doctors, going to this one. And the end result was, again, Cliff Notes version of this story was you need a cochlear implant to be able to hear. What's that? All right. So what's a cochlear implant? A cochlear implant is where it's a surgery. They wire your inner ear. They train you to hear again in a unique way without actual sound. It's electric pulses stimulating an auditory nerve inside of your head, which is so weird, and it's just weird. So it was a surgery. I went into a surgery and came out with expectations as I'll be able to hear again. Well, before that surgery, just to give you an example, I would be able to hear in a sound booth with random words. Out of 100 words, I would get 4 correct prior to the surgery, right? So you would speak random 100 words to me, and I would get 4 correct. And I'm trying to sell loans during this whole thing, right? So after the surgery, I come out, and I don't know, lots of people have seen the videos online where you see the babies, they can hear for the first time, and they get that cochlear implant on the side of their head, and everything's good. And for me, it wasn't that experience at all. I had my kids, my wife. I'm in an audiologist appointment. They turn on your cochlear implant, and immediately what I heard was Mickey Mouse. I heard R2D2. I heard the craziest of all crazy sounds. My brain was like, what is this? And that appointment, I'm like, oh my God, I traded my 4% life in for nothing. What am I going to do? And I decided, I'm like, all right, so that appointment, I said to the audiologist, I'm like, this can't be normal. I need to hear. I need to hear. She's like, it's a process. You need to rehab your hearing. So I looked at that. I'm like, what the heck is rehabbing your hearing? How do you rehab your hearing? Like, I know how to rehab like a broken arm or a pulled muscle, but your hearing, what do you do? And it was basically focus on listening to things. So again, I know I keep saying Cliff Notes, and it's not Cliff Notes, but it took about 6 months to get to a normal point. I would hear my dog bark, and I'd say, Aiden, my son, I'm like, did you say something? You're like, no, it's a dog. I'm like, what? It was crazy. It was cuckoo. So,
wow.
But from 20 years old to 44 years old, like I tell people, I'm like, I hadn't heard a microwave beep in 22 years. I hadn't heard it. I live on the water in Tom's River. I haven't heard a bird, a duck, or anything. It's all high-pitched sounds. And I remember sitting on my balcony in my house, and I go to my wife, I'm like, what is that noise? She's like, it's a duck. I'm like, it's a what? And this is like, and then it's like, all of a sudden, like life hits you, and you're like, how much else have I been missing? I get into a car and the seatbelt chime is dinging. What is that? And it doesn't sound like a seatbelt chime at first. It's like, what is that noise? It's like, you put your seatbelt on. Like, oh my God, blinkers in your car. And you know what? It's a lot of that, I know this is about mortgages and whatnot, but the personal part of this is like hearing my son, my daughter, when they were young was like extremely hard and an extreme challenge. I never talked to anybody in my family on FaceTime because I can never hear that speaker because it was too high pitch, so being able to go through this experience, like, FaceTime was an amazing thing, stuff like that. So that's my hearing. 6 months after I got the cochlear implant, which is on the side of my head, which I love, by the way. And honestly, I went from 4% word recognition in that audio booth to 98% word recognition. So it's 100% changed my life.
Amen. Wow. I mean, I get teary-eyed, and I've heard you share your story once. I know you did at our sales rally, and that was the first time I heard it. And I remember you talking about just the little things like the microphone or the microwave and the seatbelt and, you know, your kids' voices and the little things. Like, it really makes those other things that normally would be big problems or things that feel like the world's coming to crash down, when in reality they mean nothing without your health. And when you have that perspective of simplistic beauty in your pocket and you continue to press on, like, Anthony, what was that like when Steve was looking at you like, can you please communicate with these people? And there you were, kind of an entry level person, right? And you were just thrown into it and clearly created a diamond out of that pressure. And such a cool story. What was that like?
So I started processing mortgages 9-10 years ago. I was, hired in the Wall branch, and Steve and I ended up working together. We started working together in around 2015. It was I learned a lot under Steve. And looking back at the last 5 years, I've gained probably a couple dozen years in mortgage experience by working under him. He taught me a lot, and it was kind of sad. Steve and I at this point have become extremely close, but watching him, struggle to hear and not be able to talk to people and even like stuff with family and stuff was just so sad to watch. It was, at the time it was just like, well, let me help this guy out, and it obviously turned into a lot more, which is super cool. But at the beginning, we were just working on loans and talking to customers and learning. And it was just, it's incredible because like we think back now, like it's crazy to think 2 years ago that he couldn't hear anything. Like, it's just weird. Like, we have conversations every day and we don't even think about, like, everything was repeating. I would have to write stuff down for him. Like when I was trying to talk to him sometimes, like it's insane. But it's been a cool journey so far, and it's only the beginning, I think.
Only the beginning. It's so true. And you guys have moved mountains with mortgage production and serving so many people, and you've built such a great name. And clearly we're 99.9% of people, Steve, that in my opinion would probably walk away from the business and try to go do something different. And you kept plowing through every single one of your obstacles to get to the other side, and look where you're at today. Gets me choked up. So Jenni, you stepping in, you started with this group how many years ago?
Almost 2.
Wow, that flew. So almost 2 years ago. And for you stepping into this team, like what was the culture like? What did it feel like when you first were coming into the group and getting acclimated with everything?
It felt like home. Like you just stepped into like what is going to be forever. It was really cool. Like Steve was hanging out in his office and he's swiveling in his chair, kind of like he was doing before. And he's like, I can't look at all these emails. I need an assistant. And just kind of at that moment, it just kind of clicked. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to check your emails, but I definitely can probably add something. And it just kind of went from there. And we all just clicked together. And I kind of, as a mom and, alpha female in my house, I kind of like to take the reins of stuff. So I felt like once I could take the reins with Steve and Anthony, I could kind of like organize them a little bit better and push them and just kind of how to find a flow, which we did.
Yeah, and I think too, when it's a natural fit and it's just that natural puzzle piece, that's where the magic really happens. I know you've been taking on a lot of some of the loan partner operation stuff, and then also diving more into business development, which has been exciting. And Anthony, you're kind of the liaison. Can you talk a little bit on what your role is within the team?
Me? Yeah. So, at this point, I'm working on selling loans, building relationships, We have a lot of referral partners that we've built over the years, and relationships we've grown. And, that's really like such an important thing that we built our team on. We started towards the end of 2018, and we had pretty specific goals. We're like, let's just try and do the right thing for as many people as possible and kind of like watch it all fall into place. And it really has. Like, we just go into every situation, every phone conversation with clients, with like we want to win for them and we want to win for everybody that's working on that transaction. And it's really worked out. But yeah, as far as my role, just working on loans, putting loans in, helping the processors, helping everybody get loans through the pipeline and closed, hitting closing dates. It's all important. That's
the key. That's cool. Steve, what's like the number one thing you'd say that really helped get you guys from 42 million to 93 million in 1 year?
All right. So listen, there's a backstory to this, right? So 2016, we got 24 million. 2017 did about 12 million because I was out for 6 months, couldn't hear. And then now I got my hearing back. And in 2018, we wound up and we did $43 million. And the reason we did $43 million is when I came back from hearing, I said, this guy, Anthony Bueti, was my processor. He was an awesome processor. And I went to my manager at the time and said, listen, there's an asset here that I think is untapped a little bit. Anthony's an excellent processor, but he's also an excellent salesperson, and he doesn't really know it yet. And if you let me run with it, I think I could start a team and with Anthony and we can do some crazy stuff if you allow us to do it. And I didn't know what our team was going to look like at all, but I knew that if I could hear and Anthony could do what he did, and we can kind of, work off of our strengths together, we can put a rock star team together here. And I was given the green light to do that. That goal that year was to do $50 million, right? So we came a little bit short. We did $43 million, but a lot of people thought it was crazy. They're like, you can't go from 12 million to 50 million, Steve. What are you doing? I'm like, no, I'm going to do everything in my power. I know how to do this business, but I've had a ball and chain connected to my leg for the last however many years. And that ball and chain is gone. And I'm going to build this thing. I'm going to build it, and I'm going to bring great people with me, and I'm going to keep finding great people, and I'm going to go after it like there's no tomorrow. So I also, listen, I don't want to talk about the restaurant, but I also own a restaurant, and people always ask me, like, your restaurant's successful. Like, how? Why? It's never one thing. It's everything. There's never just one thing. But if I can narrow down the mortgage industry as a whole, I think a lot of loan officers are just looking for that next loan. And they don't take into consideration that it's not just a loan for that other person on the other end of the phone. It is their number one, their largest asset in their life. It's the home. It's the home over their family's head. And you never, ever lose sight of that. Like, what am I doing? Number one, if I can't put myself in those customers' shoes before I start talking about what we can or cannot do for them, then I'm not doing anything for anybody. I'm just trying to get a paycheck, which, whatever, that's a side effect. I like to try to, I used to work for a company that used to talk about emotional link to a loan, right? Everybody's calling and they're talking to me. They're picking up the phone and they're talking about some uncomfortable financial stuff sometimes. Why? What made them pick that phone? And I think that's so super important to understand as loan officers. We can't take that for granted. This is a serious conversation, and we can absolutely change people's lives with our products and our knowledge of how to do these loans and navigate through the encyclopedias full of guidelines that are constantly changing. But really, what does that customer want? Why do they want to sell one house and buy another one? Because they have a family, because they want to have 2 more kids, if you don't get those answers as a loan officer from your customers, then what are you doing? Like, how are you doing this? You have to love what you're doing, and I do love what I'm doing. I love when I talk to a customer and they want to refinance their mortgage and they want to save $150 a month, but I show them a way that if you consolidate some of your debt along with that mortgage refinance, not only will you save $150 a month, you'll save $900 a month. And it's that a epitome moment And that is just so rewarding in this business.
Oh, I love it. So let me ask you this. How long have you been in the business?
23 years.
And after 23 years, you still have this level of passion and excitement and joy, and it's just so rewarding. And that's the type of person that you want trusting with your livelihood. And you're so right. This is the largest purchase that most people will ever make in their lives, and you want to be with the right people. And I love that you have the restaurant. Can you share how, first of all, what is the name of the restaurant, and can you share how that's fed into your business and relationships, and if at all?
Yeah, so I look at my life and I shake my head sometimes. I'm like, I own a restaurant in Palms River. It's called Burger 25.
I almost said Burger 52. I was close.
I do mortgages and I do burgers. I don't know. So honestly, the reason I own Burger 25 is because 6 or 7 years ago, it's actually 7 years ago now, we've owned it. I was honestly looking to diversify my life to the point where I was like, listen, I might not be able to do mortgages. I need something else. My wife and I both had a desire to own a business. Not sure what kind of business. I literally found a business for sale on Craigslist and ran with it. We took something that was, a little hole in the wall place, and now it's a place that's, grossing a tremendous amount of volume. It's another passion of mine. I leave here and I go there, and I get home at 10 o'clock at night, and I come up with crazy milkshake ideas and burger ideas, and honestly, it's helped me in this world too, because you know what? Mortgages isn't all roses. You all know that. There's definitely some issues that go on with mortgages that we have to navigate through. And nothing in the restaurant industry is so bad when you compare it to, the world that we live in. So I have like this crazy dynamic. Like I go to work, I get up in the morning, my wife will ask me about this bill, that bill, what's going on with this? What can we do this? Can we not do this? Who's coming to change a sign? Or, beef prices went up. What are we going to do? And like I navigate through that for the first like half hour of my day. And then, my son and my daughter work at the restaurant, and we have great people that work there. We employ over 30 people now, which is awesome.
So great.
But it's weird because like I'll talk to customers now and I'll be like, oh, by the way, just to put like a face, because we're on the phone 90% of the time, right? So just to put a face behind it. You ever hear of Burger 25? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I'm the owner. And they're like, oh my God, that's so weird. So it's become a really popular place in the town. Which is awesome.
What a good feeling. And it was just built on a wish, and you and your wife just jumped into it. You probably just learned as you went and put everything you had into it. And when you do that, you get massive results. So Steve, can you share a little bit how Jenni's role is evolving over time now, and kind of what's taking off, and how her success and her story is starting to unfold?
1,000%. So here you go. So I 24 million, doing that kind of on my own. 12 million. Oh no, and I needed Anthony's help because I couldn't hear. To holy crap, my ball and chain is gone. 43 million. 43 million is hard to control when you're just two guys. You know what I mean? Just trying to figure it out and so on and so forth. So we were given the luxury of putting Jenni on our sales team, which was awesome. So Jenni got thrown into a storm, and her storm was like, I'm like, listen, we don't have enough time to get all the paperwork from all the customers. So can you help us get some of the paperwork, so on and so forth? And it's funny, we put a file on her desk and we're like, you got to treat that's like, that file's on fire. You got to get it to the next step. And she'd be like, on fire? What are you talking about? I'm like, it's on fire. It's going to burn your desk down if you don't get it off your desk. Hurry up, get it off your desk. And she's like, okay. And she ran with everything we gave her. So, after that year, $43 million, she came in like halfway through the year, and we're like, okay, Jenni's helping us do more business and more business and more business. This is awesome. This is exactly what we needed. She's great. All right, what do we do? And then we got busier. And then last year we did, obviously the interest rates helped, and the market was absolutely insane. But going in from 43 to 92 million is a lot. Yeah, it's a lot for anybody. And it was Jenni for a while. And then we actually have another LP that we hired to help Jenni because it was too overwhelming for one person to do that job. And then now we have another LP. So we have 3 LPs, which are loan partners that help us once a customer has an awesome experience. So in having 3 loan partners, we wanted to develop Jenni into a different role. Jenni's got a personality that's amazing. People gravitate towards her. The customers love her. So she's going to be, maneuvering herself into a business development role for our team. So we can grow, and even if rates aren't the greatest, we can grow our purchase business later on down the road. It's not going to be all refinances and whatnot. So Jenni, we look forward to growing into a business development role, and kind of overseeing the loan partners and kind of like keeping us in check as well. Like, Steve, what are you doing? Like, all right. I get yelled at by Jenni. It's funny.
Jenni's the mama hen of the group. I love it.
Jenni's the glue that holds us together. I tell her that all the time. She's our glue.
Oh, I love the love. That's so cool. You like over the moon excited?
Yes, I am. I'm excited and nervous. But if you're not nervous, then things aren't challenging you, for growth. So I'm looking forward to that, as well as still, I'd like to obtain my loan officer license to be, to have that.
Yeah.
But I watch Anthony and Steve and what they do. And a lot of that is to absorb and to learn with that as well. I have much more fun kind of like being in control of certain things, meeting new people. So I look forward to that. But I still like to get involved. I don't like the disconnect from a new client or a borrower. I feel like somehow I have to kind of get my hands on them or introduce and just kind of make sure that the experience is, going smooth for them. I want them to have a warm, fuzzy feeling. So it's pretty exciting. You get to meet new people and talk to people and find out their story. And that also comes into play. Like sometimes, Steve and Anthony, the thing about them is that when they're talking to someone on the phone, it's not, I'm taking an application, let me fill out your credit, let me do that. It's the story that goes with it. And so there's a rapport there's a connection, and then they just become family, like all of a sudden. So when he passes that over, whether it be me or another loan partner, it's like, what's the story, right? So now we have something to feed off of. And now you're talking to that new client and you're just like, hey, oh my goodness, you find things that you have in common with them. And it just transpires from there. So I love being a loan partner, but I also am looking forward to the growth of business development. Hopefully Kelsey can give me some good pointers and she can mentor me a little bit.
1,000%.
It's challenging because of the world that we're in right now with, unfortunately, pandemic stuff, and it has restrictions on where you can go and just being out and about. So I feel restricted in that aspect, but you get there trying, you just got to go through all the obstacles.
Yeah. I always say if you care about something and you're passionate and it's your happy place and you're, if you get in a spot, if you're just doing the things that you love to do, you're going to fly. And you're right, because if it's uncomfortable, it's growth. And, you've nailed and kind of, really mastered a certain level of your role on the team. And now it's like you're baking a cake, you're putting your layers on, and now you're going to be able to pass down the knowledge you learned to someone else and then give them hope inside of the future and financial freedom, and rising tide lifts all ships, right? And, absolutely. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff together. And, agents out there that work with this group, we've had so many people comment and spread love and who know your stories, guys and gals. Ultimately, it's so cool to see that support. Anthony, for you, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to in the next year, 5 years, 10 years? Like, where do you see the team going in the next, years to come? And how do you see your role evolving?
That's a great question. Well, I think what we're doing right now is cool. We don't really talk about this that much because I think we're really kind of focusing on the current situation and the environment we're in. But I've always been like a kind of you put one foot in front of the other. I think everybody on our team strives for excellence. When we get a client or a relationship or an opportunity, we strive to excel and do the best we can. Take every opportunity and learn as much as we can. We've been doing this for a long time at this point, and we have a lot of knowledge, but I think we all realize that we can learn something in every situation. And I think we try and learn something every day. But I think we're going to continue to grow, and I think we're going to try and bring people in and build this team out and have a lot we're going to look back in a couple of years and kind of think about, wow, like I think what happened when we started in 2018 as a team, we're going to look back in 2 years and kind of feel that way about 2020, even though it's 2021. It's cool. It's a fun team to be a part of. Steve has taught me a tremendous amount in a very short amount of time. And I think that's helped me grow and really understand what to do. Like I could navigate through a lot of challenges, which really in this business is hard. Like you get a client on the phone that's turned down from another lender and you're able to find the guideline or the way to make the deal work that nobody else could figure out. It's a really cool feeling. And I think Steve and I both have that happen to us frequently.
I want to just jump in because I'm seeing it from, behind the scenes. I call Anthony and Steve like multiple times a day. We're always on the phone. I'm constantly asking Anthony questions. Anthony does not sit still. Okay. Neither does Steve, but they're constantly like, we could be talking about loans, burgers. What did your kids do? We're always moving in such like a quick, fast pace, but they're never like skipping a beat. Anthony's always thinking, what am I going to do to get the next loan? What can we do? Let's like sit down and just put our heads together. Yesterday, we had a conversation about where he has grown in the last 6 years, how far he's come. And now he's like, I'm planning for a future that I can sit with my kids and watch them grow. Steve and I, we have older kids, so it's a different dynamic in a sense for us. Steve has Burger 25, so I think that's his, baby, and he watches that grow. Anthony has little kids, and I'm like, you're setting yourself up right now. I wasn't able to do that. I have constantly been attached to a desk and a job that didn't allow me certain freedoms. And I think Steve too, while he was probably building his business, you were just so focused. But I think in this industry, what I've seen and what I know is going to come for Anthony, he's going to have that freedom and that flexibility of like watching his kids go to soccer, baseball, being there for his wife and stuff. So that's where this team is going. It's going to just kind of take off on its own. That's what I see, especially working with these two. So
Jenny said that better than I did.
What'd you say?
You said that better than I did.
Well, it's easier for me to talk about you than it is for you to talk about yourself because you don't like the spotlight on yourself. But you are like also the glue that holds it together. I mean, we all come to you. We're like, you were a processor, so you have that knowledge that how does it work? Steve won't let a deal fall apart. It's never going to fall apart. They're all going to go, and that's what that's what it is. I mean, our clients, nobody should know if there's some kind of wall we're hitting, they don't need to know that because these guys are going to find a way to get around the wall and they're never going to know about it. And that's what a client and a new like customer of ours should feel like. It should just feel like a smooth process.
Right. I think something that we do, the three of us do, is when we get a client on the phone or we're talking to a referral partner. We're constantly like, I like to really ask people like, what's their goal? Like when you want to buy a house or you want to sell a house or you want to refinance a house, what's your goal? Like I know, I know real estate investing is like a pretty hot topic, but we all own rented properties. We have real estate investments that we own and we want to continue to build on that. And we like to help clients do that too. And there's, kind of what Jenny said, like I'm looking forward to freedom, like where a lot of people that I know don't have that. For my family, like we can help clients do that. Like we have those conversations on a daily basis. And it's pretty cool to have the mortgage knowledge to help leverage people into actually doing it.
Oh, you guys are singing from the rooftops. I love the preaching and the love. And it's beautiful to see the ecosystem you guys have built and the protection. It's a force field, right? Because at the end of the day, nothing's going to get past you. You are going to find a way, whether you're in a moment of being a solution provider, you're problem solving all day long. And that's what I think one of the hardest skills to have, to be good at it and enjoy it and still be passionate about it, really is. And it's so neat to see how you guys have connected your puzzle pieces and you've all rose from it. So cool. Anything you guys want to talk about while we're here before we wrap up?
Yeah. I totally do. So like part of the growth, like I talk about that, and we don't really talk about it a lot, but we just kind of are doing things that are going to create growth and we don't even know it, right? So one of our goals this year is to get licensed in South Carolina.
Ooh.
One of our processors on the team is from South Carolina, and she's been a vital piece of our puzzle for the last couple of years. We just recently hired a loan partner, and she lives in South Carolina, and I used to work with her at a previous company years ago. So that is another piece of the puzzle that we're going to hopefully grow upon. And Florida is a big piece of the puzzle for our future. And it's just getting licensed in states that make sense, that we could see our customers, that they're actually migrating down there. A lot of our customers, and when you're asked a couple times, are you licensed in South Carolina or Florida, and you say no, that's an opportunity. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that happens this year for sure. And we're gonna focus on building that business. And you know what, Jenni right now is focused on not only training the loan partners for our team, but transitioning into building business development. There's another loan partner on our team that is currently licensed, and he's going to convert to a loan officer. We have another loan officer on our team that I've worked with for one of my dear friends. Honestly, I've worked with him for years and years. He's a loan officer on our team as well. So it's looking to grow with every opportunity that presents itself. Sometimes we don't know what's going to happen, but when it's right in front of our face, we have to jump on it. And I think we do that often. So we're just going to constantly look. We're going to constantly do the things and put ourselves in positions to be able to grow our team. My son's 16 years old. He wants to be a loan officer. I don't know. I'm like, what do I do with that? And I'm like, college. And he doesn't want to go to watching too much Gary V. Gary V's like, no college. And I also, that's me, but I don't know. Maybe he's part of the team in a couple of years. I don't know, but it's fun.
Oh, that's so cool. I'd love to see the generational wealth and just the lessons passed down, just like they've been passed down to you. And South Carolina and Florida, that's really exciting. What's some of the ways that you feel that AnnieMac can help you develop in new businesses? I want to talk about funnel IQ. Steve, middle of summer, you're like, holy crap, I woke up with 25 people in my pipeline who are looking to purchase or refinance, and you never even spoke to any of them.
Right. So I have the craziest story. So anytime new technology comes out, like a new thing, I'm the first guy. I'm in line. I'm like, all right, what do we do? How do we do it? Is it going to work for me? And I'll make a quick decision and be like, I don't know if that's going to work, or it might work. Let me just try it. So back up. So we have some technology at AnnieMac that allows us to be notified when a customer that we maybe previously have done a loan for, and the interest rates are dropping to a certain point, that we can get in touch with those customers. So we have well over 1,000 funded customers here, and just myself, and it would be impossible to reach out to 1,000 people when an interest rate drops. So if you back up prior to the pandemic, we have a couple of different pieces of technology here, and not to bore people, but this is like a crazy story. Like, I'm an advocate for this. Like, I talk to our marketing team. I'm like, you guys don't know what you created. So we were able to reach out to people and leave them a voicemail that we pre-record and say, hey, listen, we're looking at your interest rates on your mortgage, and it looks like the interest rates dropped. And this voicemail only goes out to these people when it actually happens. So, and it actually goes down by more than 0.5%. And we just want to let them know there might be opportunity. So in 2019, this comes out around November, I remember calling Larry Messina, and Larry in marketing. And I'm like, I like this. I just don't like your scripts. Are you okay with me changing the scripts? I'm just going to be me. Like, I'm me. I don't read scripts. I'm not that guy. Just let me be me. He's like, do whatever you want, Steve. Fine. Just don't curse. I'm like, all right, I won't curse. So I left voicemails. So my voicemail that I was leaving people is, hey, how you doing? It's Steve. I got to talk to you. It's super important. Just call me. That was it. That was a mistake for sure, but that was it. Now I thought that, hey, maybe I'd get 5 voicemails a month here and there, and then people will call me back. Well, when the pandemic hit, the federal government stepped in and lowered interest rates like out of control. And I left a voicemail for over 1,000 people in one day. And my phone did not stop ringing for months. And I was like, obviously you got to be very careful with technology. But my point in telling you that story is that AnnieMac offers so many cool tools that if you just shape them around who you are and you put them in place, you can drastically change your business. You just have to embrace it, and you have to go out of your comfort zone and ask some questions. Can I tweak it a little bit? And if you do that and you just don't ignore what's in front of you, then how awesome could it be? I don't know how many loans. I could not count. I would literally be like, oh my God, Anthony, call this first. Anthony, call this. I'm like, Jenni, can you call this person? He's like, what did I say? I'm like, I got it. I just tell him I'll call it. It was nuts. And that was 2020 in a nutshell.
Wow. Like blessing in disguise, right? Like you're sitting here thinking, holy moly, how am I going to keep up with all this? But at the same time, great problem to have. And, I remember, I think you sent a text to me talking about, you had like 25 deals in your pipeline in 1 month that came from Funnel IQ that you wouldn't have had if you didn't have this technology. And the cool part too is not only the voicemails, but it will send them texts and videos and emails and customizing for everybody. So I love it. So cool. And
he said, he's like, how do I turn this stuff off? He's like, I don't know how to even turn it off. He was just like, I'm like, I don't know, but you guys are going to have to get another me because you need to do something. It was between two of them. And Brian, I mean, it was crazy. It was a good crazy. I don't want it any other way.
I can't, it's like hysterical because in 2020 started off like any other year would, a little bit slower in January. People don't really buy a lot of houses in January and February. And then February, like, what's this virus they're talking about? And then what's a pandemic? I remember Googling, what's a pandemic? Like, I have two businesses. I have a mortgage business. I have a restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh no. And then there was like a 2-week period of time where the mortgage industry was like kind of on hold. And they're like, what do we do and how do we navigate through this? And then we went from like a 10 loan pipeline to a 25 loan pipeline to a 50 loan pipeline to over 150 loans in our pipeline. And then we maintained that 150 loan pipeline the entire year, and we're closing 50 loans in a month for like almost the entire year, which is awesome. It was crazy.
Yes.
But beyond all those numbers, and I always try to remind these guys, was there's a homeowner, a customer, someone that we drastically changed their life. Whether, every time you refinance somebody, you save them a couple $100 a month, or you maybe consolidate and save them $1,000 a month, but you save 2 months off their mortgage payments. They're not making mortgage payments for a couple months. They're getting an escrow refund. They're getting all those benefits. And we're just thanking you. Like, it's just so rewarding. But times 150 every single couple of months is definitely overwhelming, but it was awesome.
Oh, you guys are champs. And I love how, if you could clone yourselves, you would. And ultimately, when you're thrown into situations like that, you just figure it out, right? You learn, you adapt, you grow, you add new people to the team. And now you're set up. What do you guys think you're going to hit in 2021?
I keep saying 500. I just keep saying 500 loans. I've been saying that for months and nobody believes me, but I think it could happen.
I love it.
We've been really lucky, I think, with the relationships also that Steve and Anthony have built with a lot of our referral partners. I mean, you don't just wake up and become a loan officer and just, start selling loans. You don't become a realtor. You don't just, I'm going to get my real estate license and then that's it. There's a lot of work that goes behind it. And they've built some really, really great relationships. So thank God for that. I mean, just because of their personalities in general and what they're capable of doing and their honesty has really shown through. And I just really can't give enough props, honestly. I know I'm like, I just love it. Like the whole thing, it's just so cool how it's all worked and came together and everybody that's been a part of it. So I'm just so excited.
Yeah. So if anyone's watching this and they're thinking, wow, I want to connect with these people, reach out to them, get them on Facebook, get them on LinkedIn, come to me, I'll directly contact you. What roles on the team, if any, are you looking to fulfill right now, Steve?
fill. What roles? I would love to grow the team loan officer wise. I would love to open up in South Carolina is a big focus of ours. We have people there already. We work with a realtor that lives in both South Carolina and New Jersey. I'd really like to get my foot into South Carolina. That's my big goal this year. Florida is already there. Florida's already been a state we've been in for a couple of years now. So I'd like to grow that way. Each individual year and each individual quarter, month, day presents a new challenge, and it's part of what makes it fun, right? If there's no challenge, then it is what it is. It should never be easy. Like this year, we definitely have a challenge of we're working very, very hard for every single transaction, especially in the purchase arena. And the reason why is because customers are struggling with inventory problems, major inventory problems, which is part of the reason why we feel that if we expand into a different state, and not abandon our home state of New Jersey, but as expand, we can find some more opportunity. But every customer, we talk about it all the time. We're like, all right, how are we going to navigate through this year? Interest rates might be coming up a little bit, which they have been lately, and we also have major inventory problems. For every house that goes on the market, it seems as it sells within 3 minutes, and there's 27 showings, a line of cars down the street, 17 offers, and you know what that really does? It seems great on one side of things for the realtors that are listing that house, but it's really terrible for a first-time home buyer because they typically don't have a house they're selling, which means they typically don't have $100,000 to put down on that house. And that kind of kicks them to the curb a little bit. And that's disheartening. That stinks. And we hope that thaws out this year. That'll be the only thing that stops us. If there's anything that's going to stop us this year, it's going to be a lack of inventory, which we really are doing our very best to navigate there.
So something that's helped us too, I think, just with our reputation and the people that we work with. And I think, like kind of what Jenni said before, I think we're, we don't really say this often, but we're very grateful for the referral partners we have. Even the team we have that you don't see on the screen, there's a lot of people that help us and really do a lot for us to help us focus on bringing new business in. But I think like in our purchase market, like having the relationship and just being known, like you get a listing agent that has 27 offers, they know who we are. Like we shoot them a text or give them a call and say, hey, this person's great. We've looked at their documents. They're super clean. We'll get this loan done in 20 days, 25 days for you if you need it. I think that helps us get our clients moved to the front of the pile in some situations. And I think that's, something that, we kind of talk about this all the time, but you kind of got to look at things the way people aren't looking at them, look where no one's looking. And I think that's something that we've done, like, text the listing agent, even if you don't know them, like, hey, this is who I am. And there's a chance that somebody in that office knows who we are and has heard of us.
Yeah. Well, I think that you guys are remarkable. And I just adore the energy and also the results, because you can have all the care and compassion and desire in the world, but results, data, metrics, that's what really creates the wave and the momentum. And you guys are not taking your foot off the pedal, clearly. So some big goals. South Carolina folks, reach out to us. I'd love to connect. Florida as well. This group, in growing this group, you come to me, and I'd love to continue to expand, share our story, go through some platform presentations. You can see what the tools look like. We can go through some pricing. We can go through some economics and understand the future of your business. Guys, as always on the Inside Edge, I love to end with a fun little exercise where we pick one word that talks about, it really describes the theme of either your state of mind now or in the future of this year. First word that comes to mind that just fuels your heart. I'll go first. My word is tenacity. That's the first word that comes to mind for me today. And you guys brought me some motivation. Like, I want to get on the phones and start cold calling right now. Jenni, what is your word? Put you on the spot, girlfriend.
Put me on the spot. What is my word? Oh my goodness. I probably have a lot of words. I don't know. A strong word.
Phone a friend.
Wife
I have one.
Go ahead. What's your word,
Anthony?
I just think, like, in life, outside of mortgages and mortgages, you have to be intentional with what you want. I think being intentional is really important. When you get a client, or I don't know, you can describe it in a million ways, but like you have to be intentional with what your goals are. Like you have to identify what those goals are. But you also have to kind of be intentional in the steps to get there. Like something that we didn't touch on, but like when we first started, we were trying to grow our business. One of the best ways to grow your business is your database. So Steve and I consistently every week did the same exercises and reached out to people from our past, closed loans, referral partners. And that really, I think, was a major thing that helped us grow.
That's a great word, intentional. And without, having the plan and you've heard it's a wish, right? And you guys are clearly, you have the backbone and the infrastructure in play to make that happen. Steve, what's your word?
So I have to say,
I got my word.
Did you hear me?
Go ahead.
I said my word is creativity. And the reason why I say that is because I think my ability to be creative in different facets of my professional career has helped me greatly, right? So you have to be creative in almost everything you do. If you think about it, there's a million words that make sense here: passion, drive, all that stuff. But for me, it's my strength, I believe, is creative. When it comes to the burger joint, I'll tell my wife, hey, listen, I'll be walking in the grocery store and that's not where I want to be. And I'll be like, we got to put Twinkies in a shake. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, put Twinkies in a milkshake. She's like, you're out of your mind. The next thing you know, there's a freaking Twinkie shake being sold at Burger 25. And it works.
I love it.
When it comes to mortgages, it's, the marketing department comes out with something and I'm like, I don't like it that way. I like it this way. That's being creative. I just think my word is creative. And if you run with it and you run with your strength, then you should be, putting yourself in an awesome position to succeed.
I love that. You have a blank canvas, and if you can just go and create, that's what being an entrepreneur is about. We give you the business home to plug your engine into, and then you're driving the car, you're coming up with the model, you're designing the speed and the pace and the creativity poured into it. So that's a wonderful word. Okay, Jenni. What's your word?
I mean, passion and passionate is a great word because we did talk about that, but that's not going to be my word. I think that's just the team's vibe anyway. But purposeful, to be purposeful in everything that we're doing. Everybody has a purpose, right? We all have a story behind us. We all are trying to get somewhere. So you have to wake up every day and what's your purpose today? What are you doing? What am I going to do to help myself grow? And what is my purpose to help this team grow? And that's going to be my word, is to be purposeful.
Purposeful. And all of your words also tie into, the theme too, with how we started this Facebook Live with Steve's story. Think about how purposeful he had to be to keep pushing through and intentional with the way that he was following this path and being creative with how he was going to hear and learn and connect with people. And that story, really is such a foundation for so many people, and to take that as your launching pad. And I'm so grateful that you shared it, Steve. I realize it's vulnerable, and I realize reliving that is not fun, but however, because you've shared it, there are so many people that have been able to look at their situation and say, okay, it's not that bad. And you'll continue to power through. And I'm just so blessed to be working alongside with all of you and a part of the AnnieMac family. And I can't wait to see what 2021 at the end brings for you guys. And 2022, let's be honest, we're all young, we're hungry, we're going to be in this for the long haul. And Steve, how long have you been with AnnieMac?
And to be honest with you, I don't even know. I think it's 8 years. I think it's 8 years now.
Well, I've been here for 7, so you were here before me, so that would make sense.
I was here slightly before you. I remember our first President's Club. I remember being on a President's Club trip. I was that guy that was not social because I couldn't hear people, but I do remember you came with your girlfriend at the time. Where were we? We were at, was it, do you remember? I think you were, I forget what the trip was. It was years ago.
The first one was Jamaica, I think I went. We swam with dolphins together.
The dolphins is exactly where we were. Right.
Yes, you're right. That's cool. Yeah, I brought one of my girlfriends. It's so funny. It was before I met G, and my girlfriends were my plus one.
At that time. Huh?
I love it. Well, you guys are incredible. This was an hour packed of so much gold. Please, friends watching this, reach out, pick the brains. Let us know that anything that was said that you have questions on or made an impression in your life. I'm so grateful for you all. And until next time on The Inside Edge, guys, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Bye.